I want to talk about prediction in astrology and also something about mundane astrology, which is like the astrology of the world, the mundus, the world. Doesn't mean second rate, it means the world. I'm also waiting on five 20-year-olds to descend on me who've been wandering on Dartmoor all night looking for a party that didn't exist. So I might get a message halfway through, but that'll be fine. That's going to be fun too. So, prediction. That's a big one. The P word. It's become unrespectable in modern times because I guess, because it adds to the non-rational nature of astrology. Of course, you can't predict the future, and astrologers are doing their best to appear rational and respectable, and they surround themselves with learning. I mean, learning's a good thing, but they almost seem to surround themselves with that to make themselves appear respectable. Because, of course, at heart, we're not. We're not respectable. We're non-rational. We're coming from something with a means of knowledge that it can never be justified in scientific terms, which is the modern specialized way that works very well within its remit, but is like the sorcerer's apprentice. You know, it's got above its station. Astrology is the broader discipline. We use fire, earth, air, and water. We use intuition, feeling, and imagination. Science uses theory and data. We use all four. So we're the senior discipline. Anyway, prediction and mundane astrology. I'm probably not going to fit it all into one thing, but they're really interesting subjects. I want to make three predictions about the world when I get there. I've made my first point about prediction because sometimes I do make predictions for people. And in a way, you don't want to, because people need to live things rather than be told what's going to happen. And you might be wrong as well. And you can have a bad effect. I mean, people will turn very provisional points you've made into a certainty. You said this was going to happen. It's like, no. Might, but it's as if people are coming to you. They want to know what the universe is going to say, and they'll rail against it when it's not right. Something like that. But usually you can see shapes in the mist. You can see the rough direction, like these major outer planet transits. You can see the shape of what's happening, the principles that are trying to be reborn, and that is very helpful to people to know that. Specific events, well, if you are going to be specific, you need to really cage it around and tell people, well, you know, you can't be certain, but this is possible, you know. But it depends who you're talking to as well. But sometimes it's handy, and of course it's awesome when you're right. It's like it enchants the universe. How could you have looked into the future? And partly it's an air quality. You're standing back and you're looking and you're analysing the symbols objectively. You're not looking at what you want to happen. You're looking at what is possible. But also, you're using your intuition because there's always 20 different interpretations and something might just come to you. It's true. You know how when you go and see a medium or a tarot reader or someone sometimes, and they're tuned in and you feel they've got something to say to you and they say it and you can feel the power of it. And it might take them half a minute just to say it, and you can feel the power of it. And then the next half an hour, well, they're padding it out because they've just got to justify their 50 or 60 quid that they're charging you. Fair enough. Yeah. But the real power is in that first moment, quite often, I find. And yeah, you can hear all you need to hear in half a minute. It's just, this is the case. And it's like that with the astrological intuition, astrological prediction. Yeah. If an astrologer's making a prediction that's true, you'll feel a certain power to it. Something will go, boom, boom. They've just said something that's true. Yeah. And the astrologer only knows it's true because they can feel the power of it as well, or that it needs to be said. So it's not just a mind thing, air thing. It's primarily not that. But we do need to be in that place that air can take us to, yeah, of objectivity. Yeah. Because then we're doing that emotionally as well, and intuitively we're able to see the person as separate. And it's not what we want to happen. Now, This is particularly difficult when it comes to mundane astrology, political astrology. And if you make a prediction politically, people will automatically assume that's what you want to happen. So I predicted that Trump would win the 2016 election. So people assumed that I wanted Trump to win. I said, no, it's just what the astrology is telling me. Astrology doesn't take sides, and it has deeper reasons. Astrology is not left wing or right wing. Astrologers tend to belong to the liberal consensus, and they tend to think that's right. It's fair enough to be liberal, but thinking you're the one that contains the truth and rightness, that's bias. And you can't be a mundane or political astrologer if you bring that bias with you. Because my predictions are going to be to do with politics, to do with Trump and Biden and Northern Ireland. Here's one way of putting it. If you can't see any redeeming features in Donald Trump, then you can't do political astrology. You just can't do it. And there's a lot of people like that. And to look at his redeeming features, don't look to his personality. That's just too awful. Look at his record as president and see what he actually did, and see what you agree with and what you didn't agree with. And maybe you partly agreed with some of it and partly you didn't. Yeah. Maybe you don't want to do that. Yeah. But that's what you have to do. If you want to do political astrology in that kind of way, that's what you have to do. You have to be able to stand back and go, well, what did this guy did, despite his awful, egregious personality? Yeah. Otherwise, you can't do the astrology. Astrology is on the side of objectivity. Astrology is a tremendous discipline like that. It's a very good inner discipline. Yeah. We need that objectivity, not just about the outer world, but about ourselves and about our beliefs too. And that's extremely difficult. So it's extremely difficult from that point of view to do political and mundane astrology. Even though technically it's simple to stand back, it's almost impossible to do so. So I just want to make a few predictions or comments. Yeah, Northern Ireland, first of all. Northern Ireland has its MC, the top of the chart, at 29 Capricorn. This is based on when Northern Ireland was formed in London. In 1922, the UK reshaped itself and Northern Ireland was formed. So there's a new chart for England at that time, but also it happened in London, but you reset it to Northern Ireland, so it changes everything by a few degrees. 29 Capricorn. Pluto has been going backwards and forwards over that MC, and that's how you are in the world, how the world sees you. And when it began that transit a year or two ago, the political government in Northern Ireland fell apart. It was over Brexit, yeah, but always in Ireland, it's always to do with that divide about being part of the UK versus being part of ERA. And it fell apart and it came together in a new way eventually, with Sinn Féin in the majority. Even though it's power sharing, Sinn Féin for the first time is in the minority. The writing is on the wall. This transit will conclude really later this year when Pluto stations very close to that MC and then moves away and definitively moves into Aquarius. So I think there will be some kind of definitive shift. We won't see independence, but the writing will be even more clearly on the wall. Okay, that's now where we're headed, and there's, in a way, no debate about it, even though it might not be said. So that's where we're headed. Joe Biden, now he has Sun at 27 Scorpio and Mercury at 21 Scorpio in the 12th house. Earlier this year, his memory was questioned in a report. Yeah, Uranus is opposite his Mercury and his Sun last year and this year. So my prediction is that, or my comment is that his memory issue, his aging issue, is worse than we already think, because the Sun is hidden in Scorpio. The 12th house is hidden too. So it's all going on, and Uranus is making it worse, and that's going to come out. Donald Trump, have I got time to say anything before my 10 minutes are up? Yes, he's just pulled it out of the bag again by selling Truth Social, putting it on the market, raised $5 billion for himself when he's got these financial problems. I mean, how he pulls these, and Uranus is squaring his MC, opposite his MC at the moment. Never underestimate what that man will do. Okay,